أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, Rector of World Buddhist University, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood, Chairman, Board of Governors, Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, Ambassador Suhail Mahmood, Director General, Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and very good afternoon. On behalf of Institute of Strategic Studies, I welcome all the distinguished guests to this special session of today at the Institute's Thought Leaders Forum. We are indeed privileged to host an eminent personality of faith leader, Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, for a talk on Buddhist heritage of Pakistan, a bridge to peace and harmony. The heritage we discuss today is not merely about ancient relics or archaeological sites. It is about a living tradition that once thrived on our soil and contributed to the moral and intellectual foundation of this region. The Buddhist heritage of Pakistan is a reflection of our country's role at the crossroads of civilization, where different cultures, philosophies, and religions have intersected and transformed lives of millions of people. As we reflect on this heritage, it is essential to recognize how it embodies the principles of peace and harmony that are relevant today as they were centuries ago. The teachings of Buddhism, rooted in compassion and pursuit of inner peace, offer lessons for addressing the increasing conflicts and growing divisions that challenge our world today. In a time where the global community is grappling with unprecedented challenges, the message of peace, harmony, coexistence, and mutual respect needs to be embraced and promoted. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, with his profound understanding of Buddhism, is uniquely positioned to shed light on how this ancient heritage can serve as a bridge not just between the past and present, but between different religions, cultures, and communities striving for peace. His insights will undoubtedly provide us with valuable perspectives on how we can harness this heritage to foster dialogue and unity in our own context. Today's talk is an opportunity for us not only to learn about our rich cultural legacy, but also reflect on how we can contribute to the broader cause of peace and harmony in our society and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I now invite Ambassador Suhail Mahmood, who is Director General of Institute of Strategic Studies, for his remarks. Ambassador Suhail Mahmood.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Dr. Khalid Shabir. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood, Chairman BOG ISSI, esteemed members of the Thai delegation, distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. It is indeed a real pleasure to welcome everyone to this edition of ISSI's Thought Leaders Forum. Our subject today is Buddhist Heritage of Pakistan, a bridge to peace and harmony. We are deeply honored to have the most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, a revered spiritual leader and a distinguished scholar whose contributions to the understanding of Buddhist philosophy and heritage are outstanding. Dr. Anil Sakya represents the modern face of Theravada Buddhism, a bridge between the Sangha's principled authority and the ever-changing realities of lay people's existence. His remarkable journey on the path both of spirituality and academics has made him a symbol of adaptability and relevance, embodying the timeless values of Buddhism while engaging with the contemporary challenges of our times. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya has been regularly speaking to audiences in different parts of the world, from Asia to Europe to North America, sharing valuable insights from his vast experience and profound understanding of how ancient wisdom can be applied in our modern world. For the ISSI, it is a distinct privilege to welcome him in our midst and benefit from his immense knowledge. Pakistan, with its multi-layered civilizational heritage, is home to some of the most important and sacred Buddhist sites in the world. We are all aware that the Buddhist Gandhara civilization reached its zenith in the areas forming present-day Pakistan. Taxila, Peshawar, Swat, Takhtabai were among the major cities of Gandhara. From the famous University of Taxila to the stupas of Swat to the monasteries of Takhtabai, we see a fascinating fusion of ancient Indian and Hellenistic traditions. Gandhara also radiated creativity, knowledge and understanding, and universal values of mankind. Ever since, it has remained a powerful symbol associated with enlightenment. Indeed, the rich Buddhist heritage of Pakistan stands as a testament to the values of peace and coexistence that have been integral to this region for millennia. These ancient sites and the teachings that they represent are more than just historical landmarks. They are symbols of a time when diverse cultures and faiths coexisted peacefully. The message of Buddhism, with its emphasis on nonviolence, tolerance, and mutual respect, remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago. In a world often torn by conflict and misunderstanding, the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan offers a powerful narrative of how harmony and peace can be nurtured through understanding and respect for our shared human values. Furthermore, this heritage serves as a bridge not only among different communities within Pakistan, but also between Pakistan and the wider world. The global significance of sites like Taxila, which attracted scholars and pilgrims from across Asia and other parts of the world, underscores the role of Pakistan as a center of learning and spiritual exchanges for ages. By preserving and promoting this heritage, we not only honor our past but also contribute to the global dialogue on peace, reconciliation, and harmony. It is a reminder that our shared cultural heritage can be a unifying force, helping to build connections across regions and fostering a deeper appreciation of the diverse ways in which humanity has sought to understand and live in harmony with the world. As we listen to the Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, it is important to reflect on the lessons of tolerance and coexistence that this heritage offers in helping to foster a more peaceful and harmonious world. This heritage does not exist just in the realms of history and archaeology, but remains a living tradition that continues to inspire and offer wisdom and guidance. With these words, I welcome our distinguished speaker once again. I am confident that this session will not only enrich our knowledge, but also encourage us to play our own part in preserving and promoting the values that have sustained this heritage for centuries. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mahmood. I would now like to request Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya for his talk. Dr. Anil Sakya is the Rector of World Buddhist University under the World Fellowship of Buddhists. He is one of the expert committee members of the National Virtue Promotion Committee of Thailand, appointed by Thai cabinet in March 2017. He was the unprecedented recipient monk of royal scholarship from His Majesty, the late King of Thailand. He holds MPhil from Cambridge University and was awarded PhD in social anthropology from Brunel University, United Kingdom. In the academic field, he has been lecturing as visiting professor in many known universities in the United States of America, United Kingdom, and Asia. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya.
Good afternoon, and I really thank you, Dr. Talal Shabir, Director of the China-Pakistan Study Center, and of course, Ambassador Sohail Mahmood, who is the Director General of the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, whom I have known nearly over decades. I have been coming to Pakistan since the time, I think over decades ago. My first time, I think it was in 2010 when I was here. And then since then, I have a very imprint in my mind that what Pakistan is all about. So what we have been doing at the moment from time to time, when the government of Pakistan has been kind enough to inviting me for different occasions, requesting me to give a different topics and giving a lectures and time to time. So I was very privileged and very honored to be trusted by the government of Pakistan, especially with the introducer of our Ambassador Muhammad here. And as again today, I am very honored to be invited to this gathering, especially at the ISSI. And the topic I have given is that the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan, a bridge to peace and harmony. Basically, this is not a prepared lectures, because I was informed about this only, I think, one day prior to my leaving Bangkok. And then as I have been engaging with so many other things, so I just noticed that, okay, I have to give a talk at ISSI to kind of, to return my favor to my friend, good Ambassador Sohail Mahmood. But at the same time, I just thought that this is a good way to put my lot of understanding of Pakistan and a lot of understanding of what is the topic about, to put in a kind of a real, in a flash, what I have in my mind. So this is another very, well prepared talk or lectures, which I'm used to do that. So this is kind of a sharing my feeling and experience with Pakistan as per se, I guess. The first thing, the whole idea of my visit this time is very unique. From the time of the Ambassador Sohail was in Bangkok, his ambassador has been working very hard to promote Pakistan in the abroad, especially in Thailand, when His Excellency was in the post. And one of them, there are so many things the Ambassador Sohail had did at that time. And then in many occasions, Ambassador was very kind enough to invite me to give my contribution in one way or other. So one of the things from that time has impressed in my mind is that okay, the Pakistan government has been doing a lot of effort on this area, so what can I do to help to fulfill that? So this has been kind of my working task for over a decades. And then I try on my own personal capacity as a professor, as a lecturer, as a, giving a keynote speaker in all different occasions. When I got a chance, of course, I mentioned about Pakistan, I mentioned about the Buddhist heritage in Pakistan, and of course about the Gandhara civilization here and there. In the audience where they even don't know what is, they even don't able to kind of pinpoint where is Takasila. In the audience where they even don't know what is Gandhara. And so many times I used to get these very odd questions. Why Venerable is going to Pakistan? Isn't that an Islamic country? Why you are there? So it's always I get this question. When I say that, don't you know that Pakistan is one of the cradle of Buddhism? Pakistan is something that it is very, very important to Buddhist world. And they say, no way. This is Islamic country. So you have in all the scholar level, about the Pakistan, about the role of the Takasila and so and so. But in a general public, the knowledge of Pakistan is only the war kind of a war place. They have a trouble, and this is an Islamic country. You have very narrow knowledge. So this is something that we are trying to change, and as of course the effort of the Ambassador Muhammad has been trying to change this. And then in a certain way we did it a lot, and then able to change a bit, but not enough. So this has been going on, and that's how it is not enough, my own personal effort. So that's how I am asking the favor from the government of Thailand and all the authority in Thailand to help around to bring this, what the government of Pakistan is really wanted to promote the Pakistan and especially the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan. And then, of course, when working with the government, it is not easy as we may think, and then we all have an experience of that, and especially with our Asian government. Government is a bureaucrat, government is bureaucratic, and then you have to move one paper from one table to another table, and then that has to be weighted, that has to be moved by someone who is a real authority. So it won't, go that fast as we always used to. But anyway, our effort is kind of more fulfilling this year, I guess. This year we are able to put together the Ministry of Culture from Thailand, and then from the minister himself, and then the prominent secretary of the Ministry of Culture herself put their effort fully, and then assigned, we have a Director General of Religious Affairs as a kind of delegations from Thai government, a proper delegation from Thai government to talk bilateral to the Pakistan government about what we should work on. And then, of course, from the minister also, and the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Culture also assigned Mrs. Nitaya, who is the director of the National Museum of Thailand. So we got the real person here who deal with all the artifacts, who deal with all these cultural things. And then having said that, the Director General, who is working there, over there, Director General of Religious Affairs, actually in Thailand we have a more or less kind of in terms of religious field, we have two organizations in government. Director of General Affairs is under the Ministry of Culture, and the job is to look after every religion and interfaith. But for the Buddhism, you have another independent, because being the Buddhist country and the majority of Thailand is a Buddhist, we have a Buddhist office there, they call a National Office of Buddhism under the Office of the Prime Minister. So it is a ministerial level. So we have two kind of a Buddhist organizations with the government. And government of Thailand, of course, is a very secular government. By the constitution law, we never say that Thailand is a Buddhist country or whatever, and any religious. It's a very secular law and a secular kind of a way of ruling the country. But at the same time, government of Thailand is very keen enough to look after the faith of their people. So being that 95% of population is Buddhist, So in a way that there's a budget, there's a lot of activities in order to help the people in terms of to nurture their mind and spirit for the Buddhist people has been very fully supported by the government itself. So this time, that's why the Ministry of Cultures move in a real, taking the first step here to come here in a really government authority. Because so far it's kind of a government to a monk, not even the public. So it's a G to M. So now this is a G to G, and of course it will bring the P to P, and of course the B to B or whatever, and business to business, people to people, and further on. So this is the first door we are opening. So this is an occasion we are here, so that we bring the Ministry of Culture and the Director of the Museum in order to see the possibility of talking together with the Pakistan government in a way that we are inviting the Pakistan government to move your country to Thailand for 3 months. So it's not only the inviting tourism here or the Buddhists here, which is we invited, but it is not successful that much. So if we can take the whole kind of a part of Pakistan, a bit of Pakistan, to have a real flavor and a taste in Thailand itself, I think this will be the first step to work together in a way that to promote Pakistan culture, Gandhara culture, as well as Buddhist heritage in very Asian condition, in environment where it is mostly populated by Buddhist people. And that's why I thought that it is not only the kind of putting just an exhibition in terms of art and culture, but this exhibition will be more live exhibition where we can, of course, once we had all the Buddha images from Pakistan were there, for sure. For you, it is only the artifacts. For you, it is a kind of ancient piece of art. But for us, once it's there, the status of those images will be totally different. We will make it sacred. We will make it kind of very inspired, because all the story, what we have heard, we have learned, we have inspired by our religion as a Buddhism, is something that what you can see here. So in that sense, this is my purpose. It is our purpose here, that we are coming here and then trying to match G to G, your government and my government from Thailand, to talk together. Then I can just watch and at the back. So this is what we are doing there. And this morning, we went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we went to the Ministry of Cultural Heritage, National Heritage, and then the outcome is very hopeful and successful. So we are going to carry on. So this is the purpose of my visit. And of course, when just recently the new ambassador was appointed, your ambassador is appointed to Bangkok, is Her Excellency Afzal, and then she made a courteous visit to my temple, and then I think she herself is once worked under the ambassador Muhammad. So once she knew that, she was so excited and then reported that I am visiting Pakistan this time. And again, ambassador immediately trying to use this opportunity, not even asking me, and then put me in the light, saying that, okay, once I'm here, I should have some of this stage to share my knowledge. So that's why I'm here with all the blessing and invitation and kindness of Ambassador Muhammad and all the related persons. So having said that, let me get to the point which because we have very short time, so this will be very kind of just discussions of the idea which came out of my mind with the topic given to me. And then as the MC, the director, has told you that I am a professor, so that is my job, I guess. So whatever topic I'm given, I will improvise immediately in the same spot. And so that's what I'm doing, exercising this again. My capacity or my ability to do that, whether it will be good or not, so you are the judges here. And then I don't want to kind of present something as the topic is Buddhist heritage of Pakistan. It sounds like, I'm going to carrying coals in the Newcastle. So I don't want to do that, because who knows the heritage of Pakistan more than you guys here? I wouldn't know that. I know a few, but who am I here to really give you tell you the story, something you already know. So that's why I'm not doing the job of carrying the coals to new castles. But as the Ambassador Muhammad says that this is something, I'm here not only as a scholar, but I'm also my part of who I am is I am a Buddhist monk, I'm a religious man. But being a religious man as a Buddhism, I guess that for many people, when we talk about the word religion, there is some kind of a very limited scope of being a religious. And then sometimes being a religiosity, it's become a very limited in a sense that even a fanatic religious we have everywhere. So in that terms, I would like to assure that Buddhism is, I don't know, is a religion or not in many circumstances. When as the MC has told, that I was a professor in America, visiting professor in America, teaching in the Christian university in the Silicon Valley, University of Santa Clara. Most of my students are the Christians, staunch Christians. But my class in Santa Clara is one of the most popular class. The university told me that it makes a lot of money for the university. They kind of rent me, or they kind of pay me very minimal, but they are making a big amount of revenue for the university itself, because they say that once they announced that Professor Anil is coming to teach a semester, within 15 minutes that class will be overbooked. And then I was surprised. Why these Westerners? Why this kind of people, the yellow-head people, always interested in this religion, Buddhism? When they asked one of my colleagues, who is a Jesuit priest, and then he says that why? And he was always telling me, what you got, Anil? Because your course is, once announced, it is already overbooked within 15 minutes. My course, I extend the time again and again. No student at all. So what you got it? So, and then he always says that, can you also, publicize or propaganda his classes? So what I did is that once my class is full, the student come and beg. I always say that, why don't you go and study this course with the Christianity, about all these different courses? And they say, no, they want to study Buddhism. And then when I asked that, why they are so fanatic? So I was very shocked and surprised to get the answer from this Jesuit priest. Says that, Anil, don't you know that Buddhism here in America is not a religion? Then I asked, what then? All the students here took your class as a discipline. Take your class as a science. So it's kind of just a discipline. It's a kind of philosophy, you can put it under philosophy, you can put this kind of discipline, you can put it under science. It is just the only thing that everyone should learn, because you never convert them. And I said, that's true. Even if you want to convert, I don't have any mechanism to convert you. I don't have any rituals to convert you. I don't have a ceremony to convert you. It is all kind of your way of thinking, what Buddhism teaches, that your way of thinking, and then how to make maximum out of the reality around you. And that is all about Buddhism. So that's why Buddhism is, I don't know whether it's religion or not. Because even the word Buddha, which happened to be very iconic, build the iconic of a Buddha, happened to be the you people here. In fact, in Buddhism, the word of the Buddha always says that, don't take me seriously. Don't worship my figure. It was just like actually in Islamic, you don't work, it's an iconic. So you don't worship the icon. But in Buddhism also, ye so tammang passati, yo mang passati, which is that if you see the teaching, you see me. So if you really want to see Buddha, if you really want to worship the Buddha, is that you practice my teaching. That is a dharma. And what is that dharma? Dharma is just about the equilibrium. The word dharma itself, in many cases in India and Urdu, I guess it has become a religion. But if you know the etymology of dharma, a dharma is from the dra, and dra is in Latin, it's become tnr, which actually become a very kind of a buzzword in this modern world is called sustainability or sustainable development. That is actually the word dharma, if you know that from the etymological point of view. Tenere as a uphold in Latin, and sus is a prefix means from below. So you hand it over things with upholding the things or moving forward, whatever you are doing, kind of equilibrium. And that is all about the dharma. Same as a Buddhist idea of the dharma is same meaning actually. Dra become a dharma. Dharma means that uphold. Dharma means that a function. It's not a religion as we generally understood. That is etymology. So Buddhist idea is basically based on that. That whatever we do in our life, be a business, be a government, be a politics, be a economics, the whole idea is that we have to keep in our mind who you are. And you yourself is defined by what? It's all become here in this room, I'm become a lecturer because I got all the audiences. That's why you might call me a lecturer, you might get a guest speaker. But if there is no one here, I'm doing this talk, and not even the live, whatever, in this all with the cameras, then do you call me a lecturer? Do you call me the guest speaker? Of course not. Might be, but I have to end up in the mental institute, I guess. I was able to talk with these empty chairs. I was able to talk with this empty screen. So what makes you yourself is based on the community. It's based on the whom you contacted with, related with. That is the whole idea of, non-self in Buddhism. So the self itself is only become available when you have other. Because without other, if you're saying that I in this room without nobody, of course, it means that you have to end in the mental institute. But I become very important because there's someone else coming here, and then you and I, immediately I emerge. So this is the whole idea of Buddhism, that once the I itself comes to exist because of the relationship with the others. So how do you live with others? So that is called Sangha, or that is called kind of a relationship you created. And the relationship have to be created. How do we coexist? How do we live in a peace? How do we live in harmony? And so and so. So this is the whole about the essence of Buddhism. So, but the Dharma itself. But the whole idea of an icon as a Buddha was not there in Buddhism at all. To be frank, at the moment in Thailand, there are some kind of monks now, at the moment, it just recently happened, saying that based on Buddhist teaching and based on Buddhist texts, there is any tenets to ask us to worship the image of the Buddha. And he might be right. And then taking that seriously, he might be right. But that might be a right, but after this Buddha passed away, until this is the 2,600 years, the things gone through a lot of changes. And one of the changes which changed dramatically to the Buddhist society is the role you played by the indigenous Pakistan people. And sometimes we refer as a Greek. It's a Greco influence. But of course, a Greco influence means that they might have an influence on some of the ideas, some of the people. But all the work you created, I believe that it was not pure Greek at all. It was indigenous Pakistani, your ancestor here, who came up with this idea of listening to all the life of Buddha and so, and then came up with this beautiful, the art and architectures, what you are seeing here, as it become a Buddhist heritage. You got it in Pakistan here. And this is something make all Buddhists change their idea, and instead of a Buddhism as a Buddha, as a nobody, now we can have a visualize Buddha as what he was to be. So that's how our stand as a Buddhist, world Buddhist stand changed dramatically. Now our faith, our belief is very focused through the Buddha images. Of course, in terms of a philosophical point of view, we never say that worship the Buddha. We always, as a Buddhist master, I always say that the Buddha image is just a reflection, it's just a mirror that we always reflect his teaching. not the Buddha himself. We are not going to worship the stone. We are not going to worship any metal which is made, carved, and this, but it is just an art piece. But at the same time, throughout these thousands of years, the idea already changed, and then we take the Buddha image so seriously. And then that inspire all Buddhists around the world how to, make this Buddhist art, how to create that art from their own belief and their own cultures. So you have so many Buddhist styles these days in all over the world. And you will see that, it is never the same figure. Thai Buddha looks like very Thai. You got a Chinese Buddha, like very Chinese. You go to Japanese Buddha, it's a very Japanese. If you have an Africa Buddha, it's very African. So Buddha, actually, there's no figure, you see. It is a reflection of who you are, how you develop your idea all about. But when you come here in Pakistan, it is totally different. It is showing us that how authentic Buddha should look like. Because if you go to all different countries, the Buddha image is influenced by their belief, and mostly it is idealistic figure. So idealistic figure means that based on the text, legend, Buddha was like that, like this, and then it's a lot of supernatural. Even the finger of the Buddha based on the text is have to be the length of each four fingers will be equal. So how is it possible? If it is an equal finger, how are we going to pick up the things? I don't know. The ear has to be very long. I don't know who pulled the Buddha's ear. I don't know. His kind of whatever faces has to be like this, they have. But that is something that we created when ideal Buddha. But if you come to Pakistan, what you call is Buddhist heritage of Pakistan, it gives a totally different perspective. It gives a totally different ideas that Buddha is just like us. Buddha is just like a human. And that is actually the Buddhist teaching. Buddhist teaching, Buddha is always says that when he was asked in the one of the discourse that are you a human? I say, I'm not human. Are you a God? I'm not a God. Are you a so-and-so? He said, no, I'm not so-and-so at last. And who are you then? I am just, gone well, Sugato, Tathagata. And I have already been. It means that I am the one who already behaved well. That is the whole idea of the Buddha. I am already one who knows what I want, one who knows yourself, what I call awakening, or kind of enlightenment. But I hate the word enlightenment, by the way, because that is a Western approach of word enlightenment. Because lighten have to be somebody lighted. So it was in the actually Bible came this word in the Bible of the 10th century, 15th century. They put the whole Buddha's life of Buddha within the Bible. In the Old Testament, if you go and see in the Old Testament, the whole life of Buddha is there. And it says that by the grace of the God, Buddha was enlightened. So that's why the God was there to enlighten the Buddha. So I hate the word because as a Buddhism, I don't have a God. You are the God. God means that the ability, what you can change, what you can do, and that is, for me, is a God. The power, the understanding, what we got that is a God for me. It's not like the Western idea of a God, creator, God. In Buddhism, says that I am the one who create myself because of my wish, because of my greed, and this and that. That's why I created this. So this is something is very different. So the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan here is a very important and then unique. So I would like to just brief you that what do you mean by Buddhist heritage of Pakistan here? In a few words. What I see is that first thing is the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan is very unique in a sense that there is authenticity and antiquity. Because Pakistan Buddhist heritage is among the most authentic and ancient in the world, as I said. Because it was after the date of the Buddha, even the 400 years after the date of Buddha, there was no culture of carving or making the image of the Buddha. It was first introduced here in Pakistan. And suddenly, it's become viral. And even I think that it is a more influenced than the COVID, I guess. It went throughout the world and then gave a very local kind of touch into that idea. And suddenly, Buddha image become a symbol of Buddhism. And then that's why, even if you compare to India, where people used to go for pilgrimage in the Buddhist, all the places, I would say that all those places, of course, is all the ruins of those old kind of ruins of these bricks and here and there. But if you really look at the civilization of Buddhism, I would say that Pakistan has the most. Because in terms of Buddha images, in terms of a temple, it was the first time it was ever created in Pakistan, and that's become your heritage here. That's become your heritage. I don't want to put it as Buddhist. Buddhists become very narrowed, because Buddhism can be taken as I say, Buddha means the awakening, it's a universal enlightenment. It's kind of just a kind of you are given the wisdom for this world. It is a cradle of a world wisdom, I would say that. And then through the image of the Buddha, it went through. So that is one thing. You got the uniqueness in that. So you have the oldest artifacts in the world related with the Buddha images. So that is very important to put in your mind. It is not only the heritage, actually. This is the first ever happened in the Buddhist history. Because in Thailand, in many Buddhist countries, they might learn about the Buddhist life of Buddha and so and so. But it is only preserved in the text. And maximum what you get is that some of the mural paintings. All those mural paintings going back not even 1,000 years. You see? So all those life of Buddha we have learned so far, we have to imagine and meditate, I guess. Close your mind and just imagine. And that's how you can touch the Buddha. But Pakistani art and Pakistani sculpture is the first person to give that 3D version of that story. And that makes the story itself is very rich in a sense that I have, and as being a scholar, I'm being a Buddhist scholar, I'm always looking at the development of even the story of a life of Buddha. And then I always say that the life of Buddha, what we have been learning so far, it is a Sri Lankan creations. Because it was first written about 400 years after the death of the Buddha in Sri Lanka. And when Sri Lanka wrote that Buddha's life of Buddha, it was totally different from the North Indian and Nepal, my own country. Because Nepal and India is a totally different culture. It's South India, the South India and the Sri Lanka is a very Dravidian system in terms of kinship. Whereas in North India is the North Indian is Aryan system. So it is a different idea. But when they don't have that idea, what they did is that they just put the Dravidian cultures. They just put the Sri Lankan culture into that. So I have a big problem. But when I come and see in Pakistan, all these Buddha images in a 3D form, which never happened in any countries. You see, this is something that I don't know whether you realize that you own something. It is a form for myself is a Buddhist heritage, but you own something which is the greatest art, the story of some man which is accepted by university as a kind of a great master, the great teacher, Buddha, awakened one, is the whole story of his story is depicted and presented in a more kind of 3D, or in the kind of carving as you had a lot of thousands of things that you got it here, which is you can't find in any other places. We call a Buddhist country, we don't have those. You find that, even go to India, you don't have those. Of course, India later on, they collect a few from from the Gandharan region. Gandhara region is not, and one time it was not only the Pakistan, it was also take some part in India also. So they just took a few parts on there. But apart from that, whatever they got it is a very new compared to what you got it in Pakistan. So that's one thing that we have to mention, that when you talk about Buddhist heritage, authenticity and antiquity, and the unique 3D presentation is the first time. It offers the only 3D representation of the life of Buddha globally. So you cannot find anywhere. You will find the mural paintings, the story, the text after text, but another visual, the stories, what you got in Pakistan. Again, another is art and architectures. The development of Buddhist art and architecture can be vividly seen through the Pakistan heritage. Is even compared to any other places in Buddhist places, this is the only places you can imagine and you can see the vivid of those stories. The four is that this is, again, is a cradle of Mahayana Buddhism by the Kushana period. Ashoka came here and did a lot, but at the time, the Ashokan way of thinking was kind of contested by so many others. And at the time, the Ashokan politics have some of the problem there, and then he used his kind of a king power, emperor power, to depress some of the ideas, which is accepted by practice by so many people, because his teacher was practicing differently. And when he was suppressing those ideas, which is of course a Buddhism, they are suppressing those ideas, it was not able to sprung out of that. Then when he passed away, when a Kushana king came, then Kushana king want to become just like a King Ashoka. But he can't replace that. So what he did is that he took whatever the idea, whatever the practice, which King Ashoka put under the carpet, bring this to teaching, and then explore it and become another King Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka-like figure for the Mahayana Buddhism. So this is the place where we got the Mahayana Buddhism. So in terms of actually in Pakistan, there's so many things if you go through the Buddhist text, which is the origin of a lot of those things. And when we look at all the the Buddhist heritage of Pakistan there, again, this is the only place you can see and you can visualize the complete historical narrative of the Buddhism and Buddhist history. And of course, you have universal arts. Having said that, it is also, there's a lot of other things like educations. You might never knew that this was the first Buddhist kind of a secular education center in the world. You know the Nalanda, you know all those places, but that was the 7th century, 5th century. But even prior to the Buddha's time, the education here was so perfect that everyone from far and close, they come and study here in Takshila. And the university system is very unique again. The university system, even prior to the Buddha, if I summarize you very, very briefly, is just like a Cambridge and Oxford system, what I have been doing these days. Because I was graduate from Cambridge. So when I was in Cambridge, is that I have a supervisor who will look after all my academic kind of helping me, listening lectures and so and so. But I live in a element college. I was in a Christ College, Buddhist monk in a Christ College. Of course, the Christ College is just a name. And then my apartment is in Jesus Lane, even more. But the one who look after my all kind of personal facility, personal comfort, will be called tutor. And this is another professor. So that is a model. In a Cambridge and Oxford model I thought, is borrowed or developed from the Pakistani education system. Because at the time, the student come here, pay their fee, and all the education's detail will be looked after the one guru, the acharya, and then all the facility look after the comfort and the facility for his way of living and everything looked after by the wife of that very teacher. So that was the Gandhara and the Takshila system, and that's how it developed these days to the Oxford and Cambridge. But it just has been kind of a change to something like what you call is systematic instead of one family. So this is another thing what we see. In terms of educations, again, a medical development in Pakistan is a supreme development at the time before the time of the Buddha. At the time, the Jiva Komarabhata, Angulimala, all these big figures came and studied here, and on the medical side, the one who graduated from Pakistan, the Takshila, is that able to even make an operation of the brain. So I don't know, I just feel sorry that all this knowledge is lost from your country. And all those knowledge was here in one time before as a Buddhist heritage. So that is, I guess, that a part of Buddhist heritage I just want to remind you. Having said that, there's a bridge to the peace and harmony. Again, I will just briefly want to say is that what is a peace and what is harmony? When you talk about the peace, this is so politically kind of used, this peace, in a way that a peace is just the opposite of a war, conflict, and so and so. The peace is actually tranquility. Peace, santi, or shanti, basically from etymology means that it is a calm of your mental desire. That is a kind of inner peace we are talking here. The outer peace, there is no way. And the peace, there is justice come. There is so and so come. That's why we never experience peace and justice in this world. But from Buddhist point of view, from our culture, when you talk about peace, just like the word Islam just means peace, means that it is our inner peace. It is a peace from inside. We radiate outside and make surroundings a peace. Having said about harmony, harmony is just only coming here and sitting together. As you might know, the word harmony is from the harmonium, actually. It is a musical harmonium. I guess that in Pakistan you played a lot in all this ghazal and so, very, ghazal, the harmonium. That's a harmony, is a syncretized. The harmony is something that when we walk together, when we sing the song together, with a different, it might be a different musical brand, but we are playing the same tune. And that is what harmony. Harmony in Samaggi or in Pali, it means that Magga means that the road. And some means that you walk the road together, you see. You are working together for some kind of a common goal. That is the whole idea of harmony. It's not as political harmony, it's not as political peace. So something, those kind of things can be really, reflect through those Buddhist heritage in Pakistan so well than anything else in this world. So my kind of my role, my conclusion, or kind of my sort of a proposal to the ISI and people of Pakistan is that the Pakistan's role in promoting peace and harmony is so great that how you can do it. Of course, you can use as a mediator of peace, utilizing your Buddhist heritage. You can say, you can play as a mediator of the peace and harmony among nations and faith communities, because those images, those art and artists is a universal art. It's a beauty, is not a Buddhist beauty. It's not a Christian beauty. It's not an Islamic beauty. It is a human beauty. Everyone, without of knowledge, faith, without anything, can appreciate and can share those things. So you can give that inspiration from each story, each stone. Just last time, I think you made a conference that every stone speaks. And that is, I think, very well said. So this is something that you can do it. And of course, you can reinforce the Pakistan's peaceful identity through those things. Of course, these days, when you are talking about peaceful, it has become so polluted. But if you see here, when I've been there, so I was always complain, say that why you are giving so much security to us? In the name of giving honor, I just don't feel that I am, honored. I see left and right is gone. And then I always says that the peace wouldn't come through the, through the gun. When I saw the people are so friendly here. People are so smiling. When I go there, they see me a very alienated man here, but they run and they come and take pictures. So they're so friendly. So, but this identity, which is embedded in every one of us, how can we bring to a real kind of a presentation of who you are as a Pakistan? I guess that the whole idea of the Pakistan, one way of these acronyms of all these 5 states, but at the same time, the Pak in Persian and all this idea is pure, all spiritually pure, and it's a kind of a serene. So I just hope that you can present this, your serenity, your kind of purity of who you are as a Pakistan. Through the Buddhist heritage, you already own it. And if you do that, again, this is the only way that in this most troubling world, we can use what you got it as an example, as a media, to invite people around the world to see that this is how we have been developed, this is what we got it, and this is some way that we can be even answer to the whole development idea of a sustainable development and sustainability, because all those sustainability and sustainable development only happen once you are able to uphold the Dharma, the nature, the universal truth, the universal beauty of the art. And that is, I would like to say as of my final word and leave you with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gandhara, where every stone has a story to tell. Most Venerable Dr. Anil Sakya, very enlightening talk. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some time for Q&A, and we open the floor. I would request you to identify yourself and be very, very brief so that more number of people can contribute. Ji, please.
Yes, because my party want to go to the museum. Let's try.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anil Sakya. My name is Hassan Gilani. I work for PTV English. Thank you very much for the very enlightening speech and all the nice things that you said about Pakistan with regards to our efforts to protect, promote the culture of the heritage of Buddhism. We are living in a conflict-ridden world, and I would like to ask you that in this particular age, how instrumental or useful do you think the teachings or the ideology of Buddha could be in terms of promoting international peace and harmony? And do you think that enough is being done at the global stage to promote the philosophy and the ideology of Gautama Buddha?
Very important questions. Just to give you briefly, actually, in a one level, it has been doing, because at the moment, when you talk about Buddhism, it is not only limited in the Buddhist temple and the Buddhist monk. It has been a kind of associated discipline and has been teaching in all these esteemed university all around the world. So that is kind of already shows that Buddhism is a way. And so there is a lot of research, there's a lot of this academic paper which answer that questions that it is, we can prove. And especially in this more capitalist-plagued world these days, you have an idea of a mindfulness, again, is becoming very important contributions. You are bringing that peace to the world. That is out of problem. But anyway, it's enough? Of course, there's no such thing as enough. As long as, what we are is that we are the human. And what makes us human is the whole idea of a conflict. Conflict is a part of us. You don't deny that. When you eat something, you make a conflict, whether I should eat or not. When you go to shopping, whether I want this or not. When you see a friend, when I should make a friend with him or not. This is we are alive, we have to live in a conflict. Conflict is a part of us. But how we choose, make decisions of what we want, have to be always be aware that whether my choice, my decision making is really creating a trouble for your own mind and the others. So this is the message of Buddhism, I guess. So if you have to, it's not about any religious, it is like how to common sense. So it's that if we can promote this idea that conflict is a part of who we are, but for the solutions, we need some wisdom. For the solutions, we need to always think that, as I said in the beginning, who you are, it is based on some other people. So you are harming some other people, it means that you are harming yourself. So if you have this kind of wisdom at the back of your mind, and then use it promptly when you make a decision making and a choice, I think that makes us our world a heaven.
Thank you. Sir, please.
My name is Sajid Hussain Malik, worked as senior researcher in different government departments. Thank you very much for giving us knowledge about peace and harmony. Peace and harmony is the common between Islam and Buddhism. There is no difference. I may like to add only one thing for your knowledge. There was a scholar, international scholar, Dr. Hamidullah, residing in France. He has written a book, Khutbat-e-Bahawalpur, its name. He mentioned in this book that Buddha was the passenger of the God, Pegambar. He referred the Surah 3 from the Holy Quran. He said that the name of the surah is also Surah 3. 3 means Injir. And Injir is that the nirvana to the Buddha was given by the God under the tree of Teen. So it may be good for us for knowledge. And secondly, in our childhood, in our school syllabus, there was a special essay about Buddha we read. I suggest that this may be repeated in the syllabus books. Thank you very much.
Yes. I agree, totally agree. Actually, I have learned somewhere that actually in the Quran, there is a whole idea of the Kapilawala as a prophet. And Kapilawala is actually from a man from the Kapilavastu, and it is Buddha himself. So it was mentioned in somewhere in the Quran, as I learned so far, is that one of the prophet in Islam. So that is very, very sound, and no problem with that. Because Buddha is, I says that it doesn't have to be tied with my ancestor actually. I am from Sakya. I am my actually descendancy. We believe that I am the kind of descendant from the Venerable Ananda, who is a cousin of the Buddha. I am that relative. But I always says that, don't worry about that. Buddha doesn't have to be in the blood. Because when a Buddha means that it is anyone it can be. So any prophet, as I said in the Bible, it was mentioned as one of the prophet as well. So by all means, I says that Buddha has to be, if you can take Buddha in your heart. Buddha means the awakening, the knowledge. I guess that is much better than only rely on the prophet, rely on in the religious text. Thank you for adding that. Yes.
Sayyid Shahid Pervez.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I would like to thank the institution, Ambassador Suhail and Dr. Talat, who gave us opportunity to talk with Dr. Sakya regarding the Buddhism and education, tranquility, peace and everything. I would like to give a couple of suggestions to promote Buddhism tranquility all over the world. Since we are proud that we are holders of the best heritage of Buddha and truth of Buddha in Textile Museum. That is, I think, national treasure for us. So I would like to give a couple of suggestions. The first is that annual festival should be arranged for all over the world for the Buddhist who can visit once in a year to watch, to see, and to practice and everything which is in Buddhism. And the second is that an authority should be established who can oversee all the things which could we promote as far as educationally as well. If university could be established by the help of government of Thailand and Pakistan, that will be, I think, a good addition to learn both the religions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this, your intervention. Actually, this has been we are trying. The United Nations already accepted, and the one with the resolution one who support is Pakistan including, is that the Vaishak Day or the Vishaka Purnima has been the kind of a universal UN day. We have done that, and then when I speak with the Prime Minister just last May, and the Prime Minister gave me the word that the Pakistan government is going to organize that Vaishak Day annually, and we have been carrying on that. In terms of, again, university, I have been conducting and discussing with Ambassador Sohail and the relevant universities in Pakistan that we might start some of the ideas there, not as a religions, but to become the art piece or whatever it is. And then I have given my own, actually dedicate myself that if someone who is scared to come here, they are feared to come here, I said I will come by myself. And then I will be visiting professor. Because at the moment, I'm retired from all my university duty at the moment. I'm getting old. I don't know when I'm going to die. So before I die, I think if I can do something, then I'm more than happy to do that. And then I have given words to actually few universities here. And then just it's a way of management of timing. My ambassador is also looking after that issues and then having the bilateral talking time to time. And then I might come and then dedicate myself to share what I got in my small brain. It's more than happy to do that.
Thank you. Since the management tells us that they have to catch up a commitment further, so we have a last question, Dr. Rizwan.
they had a political side as well. And whereas I know, my knowledge says the Buddhism doesn't have a political side. And one disadvantage to Buddhism is that the political side helped them to make a difference in the world, major differences in the world, whether it was Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. But what about this? If Buddhism doesn't have a political side, how can it make a difference, a bigger change in this world? Your response, please. Thank you.
Thank you. But in order to have a bigger, it have to be start with a small. So political science or any organization is a bigger, but in order to have this, any organization, you have to start with your own mind. So that will be how we start. I don't look at the bigger or smaller, but if you never take a one step, you will never reach there. So take your first step from your side. And then all the organization and the political party will come and support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anil Sakya. And ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this event. And before we go for refreshments, I would like to request Chairman, Board of Governors, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood to present souvenir to Dr. Anil Sakya and Director General, Religious Affairs. And I, on behalf of Institute, would like to thank all of you who have taken time out of their schedules and came here to join this event. Thank you very much.